Oh, I gotta turn down my iPad. Okay. And we're live. Happy fourth weekend, everyone. Who do we have on the side here? AR Gun 1776. Vanessa Kitty is here.
There goes the damn phone. I got to put in airplane mode. I always forget to do that.
Vanessa Kitty's here. James Pullard is here. Corners and Doors is here. Just Jeff is here. And let's see, Teresa Blonde's here. West Covina Dodge 67 Rebel SST AMC is here. Jag 1 is here. Okay, that's what we got so far. We got Andy here. And
Hi, welcome in, everyone. Happy 4th of July weekend.
man,
AR, I saw your post on 76 High Boys website. I hope things go good for you.
who was that?
AR Guns.
Oh, what's the matter?
Well, he's out there. He can tell us if he wants to.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, I mean, it's not bad. It's positive. It's just a big thing. To me, it's a big thing.
All right. It's not something. Okay. Let's see. Uncle John is here. Curtis Long is here. Teresa Blowen. Good to see you guys. And we got Julio coming up here. Hey, Julio.
Hey, how are you?
Happy fourth weekend. I think the Scotsman's going to show up in a little while here.
How you doing, Julio?
Okay, you?
Yeah, good. All as well as can be expected.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you show them your scars?
Well, I'll just talk about the zinc quick and show the scar. So everybody knows I'm getting some zinc wheel weights from people. And the second box I'm reloading from the hot pot, I started melting that down today. And I just finished melting it down and making my muffin ingots. And no sooner did I clean up and put everything away than the mail truck shows up with another box, and that's the one from Jamie and Kyle. So I was like mad because I just put everything away, and so tomorrow I'll be melting that down. But let's see, I don't know. That's a zinc splatter burn. Okay, through a cotton shirt. And what's funny is I had welding gloves on, but I had my short ones on, so otherwise I wouldn't have got it. But it was very interesting because I felt something, but I guess your body reaction, it was so hot I didn't feel it for a few seconds. And that's the mark it left. All of a sudden it was like, whoa, what the hell was that?
Hey,
It was actually stuck to the shirt. It wasn't, it was stuck through in the shirt. So it was just laying on the skin. But it's a surface burn. It's not deep. So I'll survive, no problem.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing it didn't go to the face. But
I have a face shield on, so.
Oh, yeah, lead isn't as bad. Yeah.
No, it's nowhere near as bad, depending on the temperature you're casting at, 650 to 700, let's say. Some people a little higher. Zinc, I'm casting at 890 degrees.
That's hot.
That's hot.
Okay, a little update. Garage Guy is here. Andre Giangelo's here. Broke Loader is here. And Uncle John is here. M1A2 Abrams is here. All right.
Shout out to James Pollard. I just finished watching your video before the chat came on, which are 75 grain bullets. I left you a message on there, but I will be getting a goodie box out to you. Hopefully over the weekend, I'll put it together. You will be getting some of those zinc 75 grain bullets. So slick side. So we'll see. I'll get you some out. You can try them out. Plus, I'll be sending you other bullets as well. Yeah, James, do you do 357, 38? What's Vanessa? What is the specific heat of lead versus zinc for liquid to solid? Lead is depending on your lead. Lead will melt anywhere from 650 to 540, depending on the content of your lead. But we cast at higher temperatures. And zinc is 780 degrees where it starts to melt. So big temperature change. So when if you're doing zinc, okay, yeah, James, I'll send you those 300 the 30 cal that you like, the 75 grain zinkers, which are like 40 something grains, and a nice 170 grain lead semi-wad cutter for the 357 in zinc. 120 grains, something like that. Whatever it is, 112 grain. I don't remember the exact number. 147, 170 grain. It's probably about 108 grains in zinc. What else? What was I saying? That's about it, I guess. That's the zinc updates. Yeah, and I sent out reloading to the hot pot is getting a surprise box. He knows the box is coming, but he doesn't know what's in it. So it's a thank you for the zinc. The second box is zinc. First box, he got a ton of zinc bullets. I'm waiting for him to test them out, see if he likes anything. And the second box he sent me this was a thank you back and stop bullets, and I know he will use it.
Okay, A1, yeah, Celine barrels, nice. I think they lap them; they're pretty good. 1022 barrel even has the 1022 Celine actually has a what do they call that? Scratch rifling or whatever to keep your groups from flying in the wind left and right. Weird, yeah. All right.
I guess now StreamYard allows you typing on the chat to their comment section. You could type there now.
Well, I could always type, but I use the iPad.
Yeah, for my end, I never could. I had to use the phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I received a pop-up saying if you want to connect StreamYard to your account.
Oh, okay.
So I said, okay, I want to see what that's all about, and it's for I could comment, which is good. I don't have to use my phone.
Yeah, no, yeah. You should be able to use anything. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good. They added that. It's about time.
Huh. You have
It
an
takes a while to
iPhone?
connect, but
I thought that was always there.
no, for me, it's something new. I wasn't there the last chat.
Oh, okay. I always saw comments and I never clicked on it. That's all I'm getting at.
Yeah, it just popped up as a pop-up. It said, "Do you like to comment on the chat?"
Yeah, I'm on my computer, so I split the screen.
Oh, okay, no. Yeah, when it first come up, a pop-up came up saying that, and I said okay, and did some installation, whatever it did, and
okay.
Is it an Android or an iPad? iPhone?
Who, me?
Yeah, iPhone or
no? I'm on a computer.
Oh,
it's on StreamYard. If you have StreamYard open, and it has private chat, and next to it comments. And if you click on the comments, you can see their comments and type back to them.
Yeah, that wasn't there the last time.
Yeah, but you have an iPad. I've never had a problem with an iPad replying.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, no, I always had I could view the comment if I couldn't type in it, so I use my phone to type in it. But now I could do both, which is nice.
Okay, we got Fuzzy is here. Hey, Fuzzy, happy 4th weekend. We need it more than ever. Anyway. All right. So, hope I didn't miss anyone. No, we're good. All right, good to see you guys. Did you finish your remodeling or still in the middle, Julio?
Yeah, no, I finished what I
Wow.
had to finish. Yeah, the other big jobs that'll be like for next year.
Uh-huh.
It won't be for this year. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
enough projects for this year.
All right. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, the big project hope is for next year. Yeah.
All right. That's good. Um, so yeah, I bet that zinc burns and burns.
Yeah, that
Well,
900, whatever it is.
I mean, it's I mean, like I said, it was on the shirt, and it like attached to the shirt and burned through to my arm. So all I can tell you is that if you get zinc on you, I mean, it's really just going to splash on you. Basically, what I notice is your body's not reacting to the high heat right away. It just feels funny. Then all of a sudden you go, whoa!
Now, how that happened? Did you drop something in there or something?
I think I happened when I was stirring the pot
Oh, okay. Yeah,
to get the crap out of it. And
yeah.
so, and I didn't know. And again, you didn't notice it right away. It's like, what the hell is that? And then all of a sudden, whoa!
Yeah.
I'm sure some people remember when I was stirring the pot and something went bang in the garage, and I flipped the spoon up and it went all over my clothes, everything.
Yes, I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah, remember that video? I was lucky I didn't get it in the face because I wear glasses.
Yeah.
But everything else, I had to throw away all my clothes. You couldn't pick the lead out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I know is the burn it was cauterized at the same time.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't feel a thing. Luckily, it didn't hit me in the face, but it got the whole everything, top to bottom. A full spoonful went like that in the air.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, I do my casting outside, so I have like one of those umbrellas you use for the table, picnic table.
Yeah, yeah.
I keep that over my pot because there's trees up on top, branches. Sometimes squirrels like to drive crap. Because I have it to Tin Man, a nut or something fell in and it splashed everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. A squirrel drops like a berry or something in your pot.
Yeah.
Oh, that would
I
be.
always use that because they like to drop stuff.
Yeah, I took my squirrel gun out today to see what it was doing at 50. Yeah, so that was my little deal. It's hot out there, though. Oh, it was fun.
So you want to hear the Ruger update?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, someone on the side wanted it. It was James, I think. He
Yeah,
wants.
well, they asked about it. I said we'd get to it. Basically, I didn't call Ruger right away. I just kept looking and playing and looking and playing. And the manual says how to tighten down the barrel nut. And I did what it said. And I'm holding the gun in my hand, kind of like wiggling things. And the whole front piece is moving. I can feel play in it.
Uh-huh.
So I take the instruction book out and I read it again, and it just says, lock it up and tighten the bolt with your fingers as tight as you can make it. So that was as tight as I could make it.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Might need.
Now I had it tighter before, but I went with what they said. I only had it like 2 clicks tighter than that from my marking. And I said, okay.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like holding it in my hands and I'm going like twisting and I'm feeling like play.
Oh.
Okay. So I said, okay. So I clicked the 2 clicks back to how I had it, closed it up, and I could still feel wiggle.
Mm.
So now I open it again. I went 1 click at a time till the wiggle went out. Okay. And now there's no wiggle. And then when I spoke to Ruger, And I explained to him the situation, and I told him how I tightened the barrel nut according to the instructions, and I found that the barrel was still loose. And he says, "Well, you probably have weak fingers." I says, "Well, how tight should it be?"
Oh.
Okay. I said, it was like, "How tight should it be?" And he says, "Tighten it till there's no wiggle in the barrel."
Yeah, you might need a new barrel nut or a shim in between.
There's a shim in front of it.
Yeah, you might need a new shim.
It's like whatever. It's a black washer that's in there. I don't know how. I didn't look to see how it comes out. So I kept tightening until I went one more click, and it was still play one more click, still a little play, one more click, and it's okay. One more, and now there was no more play in the barrel. So well, I'm hoping that was it.
That explains a lot, because if your barrel's wobbling around, you're getting that shotgun pattern. When the bolt hits it every time,
right.
It's doing this.
Yeah, so one of the whipping action. Yeah.
And I says, "But how do I know if it's too tight?" I said, "There's got to be a point where it's too tight. What's too tight?" And I said, "If I went tighter and I closed it, I could see the barrel kind of going upward, like you could see the space between the stock, the front stock, and the front stock and the stock of the rifle. You could see it open up. Okay, it was starting to open up." And he says, "If it opens up, you're too tight."
Well, I would have asked him for a barrel nut and a new shim.
Well, I'm gonna, I got the guy, so now the thing is to go out and test it, because if I had it too tight, okay, then he says if it's too tight, he says you shouldn't be getting a shotgun barrel pattern though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he says it just might be, you could be stringing. He says if you got it too tight, because now the barrel's upward, and so you could be compensating. You're not compensating, but it's an upward angle, so you could get streaming. I'm aiming at a 50-yard target at a 3/4 inch black dot. So if you're at the bottom of the dot when you pull the trigger, or at the top of the dot, that would cause up and down streaming. But I wasn't getting it. I was getting circles. So hopefully it just wasn't tight enough.
Yeah, that is strange. Out of all these thousands of rounds, and all of a sudden it acts up like that.
Well, you got to remember, at the end of this, when I put the gun away and I cleaned everything and I put it back together, the barrel felt loose. So I gave it a couple of clicks till it felt okay. Yeah. So I didn't have the wig. I didn't notice the wiggle, but I put it back together.
Right.
So when I went out to shoot it next, I started out with a fresh and clean rifle from front to back and fully taken down, put back together. But I didn't touch the barrel nut. Okay. So I'm wondering, could there have been maybe carbon in there? But I've never found carbon when I break it. I never found carbon in that at all. Never. Okay. Yeah. Only on the feed ramp and the chamber itself, but nothing on the outside that would prevent it that would shift things. So he says, but when we were done with the phone call, I forgot to ask him, can I just send the barrel back? So now I got to call him again.
Yeah, but it sounds like it's the nut or the shim. So probably the shim. You're taking it on and off,
Yeah, I don't know if I spoke to one guy that had it. He says, I take mine apart. I come to the range with it apart and I snap it together every time I go to the range. He says, so it's meant to be taken apart. Because I don't have that problem. So could there be something wrong with the washer? Possibly. The nut itself? Possibly. Was it the nut behind it? Me?
Yeah, it doesn't cost them nothing to send you both and try it.
Yeah.
But I got to see how it comes apart, because there's no instructions for it. I tried to find something.
The washer itself, it's stuck in there.
All together, so I don't know if it's got a spring clip in there or something. Yeah. I have to.
I just have them send another one, and then you're going to know right away.
Yeah. Now that when you put it back together, there's that nipple that inserts into the barrel. Is that aluminum or steel?
Oh, that's steel. It's not a nipple. Oh, there's no nipple. It's the whole chamber.
Okay.
You see the end of the barrel, and then comes the barrel nut, and then you actually see the outside of the chamber, and it's got like I don't want to call it spikes, but it's got raised areas that mate and twist when it goes together, so it can't turn too far and things like that. So when you put it in, and as you turn it, it's pulling inward.
Yeah. Does it have little bumps on it?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking.
Yeah.
So it pulls it inward, and there's obviously a stop that you can't turn too far. So it pulls it inward, and when it locks, it's locked. Okay. So if it's too loose, like I said, I really tore it apart, cleaned it, and I backed off the nut, and I tried to do it the way they said, and obviously I wasn't tight enough because I found play in the barrel at that point. So I just kept one click at a time till the play went away. Okay.
I'm suspecting the washer, the little bumps on there. It's kind of like a lock washer. I forget what they call them. We have some in the garage, different.
No, it's just a flat washer. And I don't know if it's tapered or anything like that. It didn't look, but it's smooth. Okay.
Oh, I thought you said it had.
No, that washer is free spinning, but you can't take it off. Okay. So something's holding it on. But the chamber has those nubs on it that lock it in. It's locked in by the barrel itself, nothing else. The lock nut is just the locking nut is just pulling the barrel in or in further as you tighten it.
Okay, we have Reloader 762 is here. Hobbies and Hobos and 6-Shooter Texans here. I'm glad I didn't see James's video. He must have just posted it, but I saw 6-Shooter Texan, and he's got his lever running good, so that's awesome.
I didn't see 6-shooters. I've been doing too many things, but James, his video ended when he got to the target, so we really didn't get to see what he did.
Hey, I was just on YouTube like 15 minutes before this chat, so he must have just dumped it off real right.
When I saw it, it was only up to 2 minutes, and then I watched it and came here. So it was about 5 to 8 or so when I came in here to log in.
And we have old one guy is here. Hey,
I got too many channels I'm watching. I'm going nuts trying to keep up with the videos. I don't have the time. I don't have the time. I work full-time job, and maintaining a house. Everybody that owns a house, maintaining the house and the grounds. Today I was dealing with my homemade flagpole. It stands up out of the ground, and it's it's one of those, some bird in the spring attacked the flagpole, the string that pulls the flag up and down. He ripped the string apart for the threading to build a nest. I said, in the school, he's built a nest in the top of there's a pine tree right where the pole is, let's say, a little pine tree. And he built the nest right in the top so I can watch everything. But I said, you got to be kidding me. Out of all the things, for 22 years, that flagpole's been up, and no one's ever touched the string. And it's like that nylon braided stuff. So it was like, he just kept chewing on it, and he kept pulling the threads out of it till it broke.
Well, the birds aren't as bad as pack rats. They make igloos, nests out of all kinds of materials in your house or garage or outside. But I've never had the flagpole get that way. No.
So now you got to put this flagpole. Okay, give you an idea. When I built a freestanding flower box, if you want to call that. It's like 3 foot square and about 2.5 foot tall. And I planted a pine tree, one of those twister ones, that cut that way for the twisting. And then I put the flagpole up. I used black pipe, one inside the other, welded the two together so I have the length. And then I took another piece of black pipe, the next size up, and drove that in the ground So now the pole goes into that, and then it's attached to the flower box, which ain't going anywhere. All right. So now it was no big deal. I took the clamp off the flower box. I couldn't pull the pipe out. One rusted to the other. I went nuts with that thing. I actually took my torch out and heated it. And then I finally could spin it, but I still couldn't pull it out because the weight of the pole, it's 20 foot long. So I wound up cutting it off about 3-4 inches above the ground. And then I got big monster channel locks on it. And I managed to twist it enough that it finally loosened up and I could pull it out. So now I can put the flagpole back in the spot, but it's 2.5 feet shorter.
Yeah, we have a really long one, and when I was working on the base of that flagpole, it was like, you know, if you don't keep your balance, it's going down.
I dropped it the first time I tried to put it in the hole, you know, and it's like, I'm like, and it's right by the house, so I'm like making sure I'm carrying it where the weight is like going away from the house. And sure, I dropped it the first time. The second time I got it there, I said, okay. I was holding it too high up when so I lowered the pipe lower to the ground, and then so I have more leverage that way. I got it over the old pipe, and I'm trying to put it in, and it's like I finally got it in, but it wouldn't go down. I started tapping it with a hammer, and it fell down into the old pipe that's in the ground, and it's like, okay, we're good to go. So I got the flagpole done. I did all the freaking weeding, not weeding so much. I went out and put the spray all around. I have one of those patios. What are they called? Paver stones. Okay. And the between the cracks is a nightmare. Always weeds. Always. And it's like, well, you're supposed to, every year you're supposed to buy this type of sand, and you're supposed to go around and put it in and wet it down and like push it in with the broom. It's like, are you kidding me? It's a small patio. It's the patio is like 18 by 30.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, okay, great. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so
yeah, you'll be there forever.
I have my chemical guy spray it this year. It did nothing. You know, so it's like ridiculous. So just keeping up with that. I swear, 2 weeks go by and all the weeds weren't there. Now they're all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah, we played with hoses to water the gardens and the flowers. And a brand new hose. It lasted 2 days, and it scraped on a boulder or something, just sitting there, and burst.
Wow.
Yeah, brand new hose, made in America hose, not a Chinese hose. And so we were pissed. So we nipped it off and added a thing on the end of it, you know.
And the only reason why I have a paver stone patio is because if I would have made a deck, I would have to make it 4-foot sections, or they're going to tax me. If I put cement down, they're going to tax me. Okay, so I have to go with the paver stones. I would have came in and did a flat pour of cement and been done with it. I would have thrown maybe some pieces of slate on the top of it, you know, to make, you know, just make it so it wasn't straight cement looking.
Yeah, it's just like here, they tax you for everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm surprised they didn't come by and say, we're going to tax you for your flagpole.
Yeah, or for flowers. They start taxing flowers, start yanking them out.
That just ain't American. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they tax you for everything. It's ridiculous.
Wow. No one comes around here looking at your stuff. MCK is here. Hey, MCK. He did a video today also. I didn't catch it before the chat thing, but
I got so many videos to catch up on. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's always something. If you're a homeowner, you're not going to rest. Something's going to go, you know, it's always something.
I've been lucky. It's just mainly upkeep. Okay. I mean, hey, Thorzax. Yeah, mainly just it's upkeep. You know, I pay a landscaper to cut the grass. another guy that does the chemicals. So I'm not dealing with that because I don't have the time. If I had the time, I don't care about doing the work myself.
Well, yeah, if you're worried about weeds between the stumps, just get some Roundup in a Hudson sprayer, the concentrated, and mix it with water and spray it, and it'll go away.
Yeah,
But that's now, I guess, yeah.
No, I mean careful because of sickness. I'm not worried so much about that. I'm worried about what's happened to me is I spray so often, so I buy a gallon of the stuff to mix, to concentrate.
Yeah.
And I usually don't use it all. And when I go to open it up next year, it's like clumpy, and I have to strain it. Otherwise, it clogs up the spray. I took the spray apart 3 times today. I said, "Screw this," and I dumped out the thing and went out and bought a small bottle of it. And so it's just
okay. We have Florzak's in the side chat. I don't think I missed anyone else. All right. Good to see everyone. Happy 4th this weekend. I don't know. Do you guys have like Monday off or what?
I do.
Monday, Tuesday?
Well, we didn't get that. What's that holiday we just had on a Monday, that 13 or whatever, upteen, whatever the hell they call that new holiday?
They have too many holidays now.
Well, we have whatever the stupid name it was that just happened a couple of weeks ago. The company chose not to give us that day off, but to give us Monday for the 4th of July.
Well, if you get Monday.
I would have rather gone to work Monday and have Wednesday off because not Tuesday night they'll be shooting fireworks at 2:00 in the morning over here.
Yeah. Wednesday would be good too. They should do like a 5-day weekend. Yes, they should.
Well, just what are you going to do? It's just the 4th of July. The guy here that puts on a show. Okay, I won't get into it, but he puts on a show here. It's 3 houses away from me, and he shoots off about 15 grand wholesale cost. Okay, worth of stuff, and he starts at about 10 to 9 with little stuff, and once it's dark, he starts in with the rest of the stuff, and he's done by 9:30. Fine, I'm out there enjoying myself. At 10 o'clock, I want to go to bed. Okay, and it's like, I'll sit with the wife for the next half hour while we watch something on TV from the fireworks, and then I want to go to bed. And at 11:30, the neighborhood's still shooting fireworks. Give me a break.
Okay, my son found the most awesome firework ever, and the guy is local. He does displays and everything. And this thing is awesome, but we can't do it until wintertime because it's a fire hazard, right?
Yeah.
But he's going to try and get some of these things from the sky, and it makes the most horrendous noise in spurts all the way until it blows up. And we're going to point it at the neighbor's house and do a video. The sheriff. They're going to shoot it at the sheriff's house, and my son's laughing his ass off, but it's like a pulse. You know what a pulse jet is? Well, this makes a pulse of the most hideous noise all the way until it goes and blows up. It's like these rocket things. It's awesome.
We have a triple shot aerial bomb. It launches because you just hear a thump. Then you hear pretty much probably an M80 or a cherry bomb level, something go off. Then it whistles, and then the second one goes off, which is bigger, and the third one is a blockbuster.
Yeah, I forget.
And it's like when it goes off, the whole sky lights up, and the noise is crazy.
I forget what this thing is called, but it's the most hideous sounding thing all the way until it blows up. And we were laughing so hard. And hopefully my son will get a couple. This time of summer, we're not lighting fireworks because of fire hazard. But this winter, the sheriff neighbor's going to get it. We're going to light it. We're going to aim it right at the top of his house. And he's going to be like, what the hell is going on? Oh, it's going to be funny as hell. And we'll do a video if we get it. If we get some of those. They're not for sale privately, so yeah. But my son has a connection, so it's gonna be good. Real good. Yeah. Oh. Okay, let's see. Thorax here. All right. Oh. So yeah, it's really funny. Around here, they'll sell fireworks all month, but you can't use them because it's too dry out.
Yeah.
So it's a wintertime thing. Just stock up and wait until winter. A lot of people have been getting smoke from Canada. Hobbies.
Yeah, we got that smoke again here, and it's driving me insane.
We got it.
Luckily, we're not. Luckily, we're not in the wind zone for them. We'll get it from California, and we've gotten it from Washington before. But luckily, we're not getting the Canadian smoke right now, so it's pretty clear.
We had it the last couple of days. It was pretty mild level, but you could tell it was there. You could just smell it. But I'm sure Julio was like fogged out by it, and you really smell it.
All right. Good night, M1A2, and hope you feel better.
Yeah, you got clear skies.
Yeah, we've had a kind of a haze all day, but sun was out. But you can see a haze, and that was the smoke. But it's supposed to rain on and off tomorrow, so that'll dampen it down here. So,
So Javi's created a fire. He got clear skies.
Six-shooter Texan. Yeah, speaking of hot in Texas, Ozark just came back from hunting in Texas, probably hogs or something. And he said it was like 125 degrees in the parking lot when he got in his car.
Wow.
Oh, so I guess it's hot down there. Yes. Warsaw Patriots here. Yeah, so it's getting a little toasty. At 80 is fine, but once it gets hotter, too much for me.
It just depends on the humidity. If the humidity is low, 90's okay. But if humidity is high, 80's a killer.
Yeah.
We had a lot of humidity down here. We hit about like 79.
Yeah, very few. I was cutting grass yesterday. Man, oh man, I was drenched.
Hey James, the 75 grain 6 sides, 223 bullets. I got them firing in my 1-9 bolt right now with the super low, speeds, subsonic stuff, and I haven't worked the load totally up, but at 5.3 grains of the powder I'm using, I'm now starting the group with no keyholing, so. I didn't do them in the AR yet, but I just casted a bunch of them and finished them off. So I'm going to start loading some ladder tests, finish the ladder tests for the bolts, for the low end stuff. And then I'm going to start a ladder test up for the AR. So hopefully I'll be bringing both guns next range day and find out. But I do hope tomorrow I got to melt more zinc. The rest of the zinc I got to get that done. And then probably Monday afternoon, I will be sitting down at the bench and I'll try to put your package together and then start loading up. I got to load up 9mm. I got nothing else to shoot out of the PC, the Ruger either. So I got to load up. And I'm just going to go with some plated and some lead and see what's going on. And then we'll go from there. But you saw the video, guys, of the barrel. Did you see that, Jim? On my Ruger?
No, when did you do that?
That's last week.
Yeah, I saw that video. Yes.
I have one up on there. I put the bore scope down the barrel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen all your videos, so obviously, but I'm a monkey. I remember like 2 days from now, and I'm done. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I showed the chamber. I went down the barrel.
Yeah.
And then I showed the crown. I couldn't see anything wrong with the crown.
I remember because I was looking at the crown. There was a few bits, but nothing major. Yeah. Okay, I remember. Yeah.
I don't know if the crown was just maybe a little, dirt that the camera seeing it as dirt. I mean, it's dirt, and it's, you're seeing it as a problem. Seeing like a
yeah. After you talked about filling a wobble in the barrel, that's where it's at. So it's the nut, it's the washer. Just get those replaced by Ruger, and
yeah, I got to see if they sell the parts because they don't list anything online.
And we have Charles Miller here. Hey, Charles Miller Jr. How's it going, buddy?
That's strange. A comment that Hobbies put down that they banned nationwide ban of lead, but for hunting and fishing still okay. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, they don't want it because if you're shooting at the range is collecting tons of lead, in the berm. So they don't want the lead. I understand that. You go hunting, you shoot 3 bullets. You know what I mean? So it's and fishing is the lead sinkers. I don't know about that. Not enough people fish up there to get enough lead problems.
Usually the environmentalists are against buckshot that's lead or fishing because lead's in the water, which doesn't really it doesn't.
Yeah, they worry about the buckshot being there, but how about everything else? The sinkers, everything else is in there.
And what they don't realize is lead will disintegrate on the ground. If it's sitting out in the back, if I don't pick it up quick enough, it starts turning white and it just goes away.
It says only lead wheel weights are banned, so you can go buy lead from a melting place and use that.
Yeah, don't worry about that because all the wheel weights aren't going to be lead anymore anyway. So yeah, don't worry about that.
Oh, only lead wheel weights are banned. Okay.
Yeah, don't worry about that because we're running out of lead wheel weights anyway.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. I'm happy about that. It's going to force all you guys to shoot my zinc bullets. I'm going to get rich.
I only have a small little bit in a shoebox so far, but I still have like 4 buckets I got to sort through, and I know there'll be zinc in there.
Seriously, I mean, I don't know that zinc is going to be great for every gun.
Yeah,
but so far, 30 cal, that one that I've been making, it's during the blackout. It's a great shooter. I shoot 3006. 3006. It's a great shooter. It's got to be great in 308 as well, I'm sure. And Jamie tried in his 35 Remington that 195 grain lead 357 bullet. He sized it down to work, and he was like, "Are you kidding me?" He said, "Do you know what kind of velocities I was getting out of that thing?" And he shot it at dead zero. So the velocity he was getting was at the target, not at the bench.
Speaking of 30-06, it's supposed to be obsolete now. I tell you what, my hunting rifle's a 30-06. I love 30-06. Maybe it's not the Wambadine round, but I don't see 30-06 going away. You can put a heavy bullet on them, you light bullet. I love 30-06. Why is it obsolete all of a sudden?
I mean, you should. Back in the day, you used to buy those plastic sabots with a 22 go into it.
Yeah.
And they weren't super accurate, but they shot. Okay, but still, I'm shooting the 113 grain zinc bullet, so I can cast up 150 grain bullet, and it's going to be 90 grains. out of a 30-06. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I think a 30-06 is like a 44 Magnum. It's never going away. Don't call it obsolete. Say you have something better than a 44 Mag or an 06. I'm sorry. It's going to do the job. It's perfect.
I have a question. I know that zinc doesn't expand. But have you tried zinc hollow points?
Me, no.
No. I wonder
Now,
if that would expand.
those 357 bullets I sent you, the
Uh-huh.
170 grain flat semi-wide cutter,
Yes.
drill a hole in it.
Okay.
Make a hollow point.
Yeah, at best,
That's a good way to try. Yeah.
it's so hard. At best, it'll frag.
It'll frag. That's what it'll do.
Yeah, it's not going to
frag,
mushroom, but
It's not going to mushroom, but it will frag. So
there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with fragging either.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with fragging.
well, it just creates more damage in the wound. It's
Yeah.
more bleeding points. That but most of us are out there, and we're shooting paper. Okay, so now if you go hunting, if you're like CW, he hunts whenever he can. But if you're the guy that just goes out once a year during deer season, you're going to take that deer with a zinc bullet. Don't matter.
Right.
Okay, it's just, I mean, the velocity is there with a less powder. You still have the physical size of the projectile is still the same. It's just the weight's different.
Mm-hmm.
So the wound cavity is still going to be a 30 caliber wound cavity. And if it hits a shoulder bone, it's more than likely going through it.
Right.
So I think in the potential of a shot being a little low and left and you hit a shoulder, it'll make a big difference compared to a bullet that expands when it hits the bone. So you will go through that bone and do more damage to the inside. So I don't know.
Talk about damage.
Yeah.
You guys see the this whole stupid, X-ray video footage and all this stuff. I say, oh, a 5.56 will do damage. And I'm like, all right, you claim that the 5.56 does more damage than anything, and you want to ban an AR-15. We had a Second World War II rifle known as M1 Garand, and that was a 30-06. We used to kill Germans and Japanese, and that did a lot more damage.
Hey, they only killed that for weight and changed. They went to the M1A1, but 30-06 is still a great round, I think. Everyone's concentrating on shooting 1,000 miles, but as far as hunting goes, the 30-06 on big game is going to do whatever you want it to do. Pick the weight of your bullet.
Yep, and Uncle Jim, guess what rifle was mostly commonly used during that time period?
Of which time period?
Think about back at War One. Guess what the most common rifle was back that time period, even before the war?
Well, you had the bolt actions, then they went to the M1 and BAR and all of them, and they stuck with that caliber.
Yep.
To keep it common, and then they went a little uncommon, went 308 and 5.56.
Yep, and the reason why I was bringing that up is because we actually copied Germany's Mauser action to Springfield 1903, and we actually got sued by Germany, or they tried to. But the Germans, they had a special cartridge. What was it? The 8mm.
And the Brits also did their own. Kind of like a 308 or a 30-06.
They did. They made a rimless case there for a while, and they didn't want to convert and change all their tooling, so they just stuck with the 303.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. 303.
That's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to tell you what, more research, more ballistics, more testing with bullet weights, powders, primers, you name it. More of that has been done with the 30-06 of all the other calibers that we have adopted here in the United States.
Straight
They have
on.
invested millions into that round, and
Yeah.
it's a great round. It really is.
It's kind of like the Ma Deuce will be here for a long time, and it's been here 100 years. And you know, the 50 cal, 30-06, 45 ACP, it's still going to be here, people.
Yes.
You
Yep.
don't need Wambadine. You don't, you know.
Yeah, but also I'm bringing up, if anybody who's out there says, well, the 5.56 out of an AR-15 is deadly, I'm like, shut the F up. All right, same rifle. I have an M1 Grand right here, same action, different grain powder with the cartridge that's actually more deadlier. World War II based. Weapon of war.
Well, that's when you get into the light, low recoil, fast shooting type deal versus
Yep.
heavy gun to pack around. That's why they changed. But
Yeah, but no, it's like to debunk a lot of these leftist liberals that think that mindset.
I mean, imagine carrying a BAR around for a 20-mile hike. You're not going to like anyone that picked up a BAR knows how heavy it is. That is a chunk of steel. The
Yes.
M1, the Grand it's carryable, but you're talking, you know, long hike. And I can see why the military went light and quick. And, you know, it feels like a toy compared to an M1.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Colt, you know, the Vietnam gun, and that thing feels like a toy. There's no weight to it. And that's cool. I mean, I give it that. It feels, you can carry that thing all day. It feels like a little toy. So
Well-
that's why they did that. Less ammo to carry. Everyone had to pack, not just them, they had to pack extra for other guys. And that's why they went lighter ammo.
If I can interrupt here, okay, I'm going to plagiarize here because I'm actually stealing this from somebody else, but it makes perfect sense. You have the battle rifles, and then you have the fighting rifles. Okay, so your fighting rifle is going to be your, you know, sub-caliber like 223, 7.62 by 39, smaller calibers where you're going to get into an arena of battle less than 300 yards. And the battle rifle is your .6 and your 308, you know, your heavy hitters. That's what it is. And also you have to look at it from another point of view. Okay, so I'm the Department of the Army, and I want to recruit people to be in the Army. So I'm just recruiting people. And I'm going to get people of all different heights, shapes, and weights. I'm going to get women. I'm going to get men. You know, I'm going to get them all. So logistically, the M16, okay, makes more sense for me as the government to go ahead and train those people with, so that they'll qualify. They'll qualify with their rifles. Well, that's difficult to do when you have a YN2, 4'7" female in the Navy, and trying to give her a 308 that she's going to go out there and qualify with. She's going to qualify with that AR-15 or that M16. She's going to qualify with an M9. She's not going to qualify with a 45. She's not going to qualify with an M1 Grand. It's just too much. And so that 6'6" guy that weighs 220 pounds, he's going to be able to fire that M16 and his M9 with equal success. So he's going to qualify. So I have an entire army that's qualified with their weapons.
Yes.
So that's
You got a good point there. Anyone can shoot an AR good. Anyone can shoot a 9mm good. You know, like you say, it's
logistics. That's
yeah.
what it boils down
When
to.
they tried to, like, they're trying to ban ARs, and they say, oh, it's not good for women, and they can't. And you see all the videos of women shooting a shotgun versus an AR. There's a total difference.
Well, Uncle Jim, here's another point I want to bring up. You remember when the old days back in, like, what was it, 2012, when Joe Biden said, oh, you don't need an AR-15, buy his shotgun. And I'm like, Okay, Joe, I guess, okay, if I get a shotgun, I put random last shells and I don't pay attention if I get a home intruder, and my wife's in held hostage scenario, what are the chances that shotgun is actually loaded with birdshot and I don't hit the guy's head while my wife's being held hostage?
Well, no, where he was full of crap was take it out on the backyard and fire 2 in the air and empty your gun, and they'll just go away.
No, it doesn't work like that shit.
So you're going to go out on your porch with your double barrel shotgun. You're going to fire 1 round into the air, okay? And you're in a situation that's hostile. So you're out on your front porch alone with 1 round in a shotgun, and you're trying to handle that situation.
But like I said, in a home invasion scenario as well, the up platform is more for that.
Call the sheriff. Get some help, because
how many
barricade yourself.
Yep.
Use common sense.
How many home invasions have we seen where there are multiple people coming in the house
multiple times,
and they're not going to go away because you blew off a shot? They're shooting through the walls, everything. So.
Yep. No, but if you had one home invader and your wife's being held hostage, the AR-15 is going to be the best thing to save your wife any day, especially if a headshot.
Every scenario is different, but
I want to avoid.
I told this.
I don't want to live in a place where I have to worry about that.
I told this story a million times. I saw this guy, and he's in a body cast, and he's all white. And he doesn't have any blood in his body. And he's looking for a black powder gun. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, they took away my, they can't let me buy a gun right now because I was taking home my bankroll. He was a company owner. He took home his bankroll, and these guys shot him through the walls. Okay, they shot him through. They surrounded his bedroom where he was. He had a 45 at the door jam, and they shot through the walls and shot them all up. And so there's a scenario right there.
It's like,
Pat made a very good point. He made a very founded point. Maybe we don't need the ones that can't qualify. Yeah. That was part of passing the test to get into the service.
Dorjax, there's a term for that. Darwin Award.
Yeah.
The sad part was they took away his gun rights until this thing was settled, and he was just defending himself. And the bad guys, they were, hey, the bad guys are good. They
legal system.
Yeah, they confiscated all his guns, and that's why he was looking for a black powder gun. While this was getting settled, while they shot his whole house up, shot him up, took his payroll. Every scenario is different.
Yeah. You always read the paper in the Seattle Times about these South Seattle small businesses getting knocked over, grocery stores, convenience stores, auto body shops, places like that. And they just rush in, and that's it. They bust in, they do their thing. They got guns, and they just collect up everything. And all those people just hit the floor. That's it. And, if we don't have a problem with guns, we have a problem with society when it's getting like that.
Well, okay, Pat has a point, and I think Tin Man does the same thing. If you ever stepped on a Lego at night,
oh,
yeah,
but many times.
I know. I'm happy.
The guy that's breaking into your house is wearing shoes. He won't notice it.
Uncle Jim, I actually got some worse than that. Try stepping on a rusted nail.
Oh, I've done that lots of times.
That actually almost went through my boot, dude. I was like,
never mind,
dude.
No.
Never mind Legos. Remember Jacks?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Legos.
Yeah, Jacks look like the things they lined up with barbed wire, so you can't defeat the enemy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Step on one of those.
We're out on the road. They throw it out on the road to pop the tires on the car that they're trying to,
Yeah.
pretty wild stuff.
Just a quick shout to Hobbies Hobo. I saw your text earlier, your email earlier. Sorry, your comment earlier. I'm glad that you were able to use information I provided on zinc casting to get you into it.
Oh, you've helped a lot of people, Zinc Doctor.
Well, Hobbies Hobo is doing it. I know James Pollard is doing it, and that's because of not just me with James. That was also with Willie. Okay, got him going.
Broke Loader is doing it. Yeah.
Broke Load is doing it, and now I got a box I got to put together for Dummy Round. He's going to try him out. He can't wait to get him. And so it's there are people doing it now, and it's not a big challenge. It's just you need to know what you're doing when you're reloading and understand, and then you won't have any issues. I just tell people seat the bullet to whatever the bullet manufacturer says for the size of the bullet, etc., and then load it up based on the weight.
Yeah, they're gonna be so lightweight. You're not gonna really have to worry too much about overcharging for that bullet. Yeah.
Well, let's put it this way: in the 223 case, you can go up there, and same with 300 Blackout. You can go up there where you're making a compressed load. There's no reason to do that. So if that's what you're going to do, you could have a problem. But James is doing like 18 point something grains of, I forgot what powder he said, in the 300 Blackout, and he and there's no more room. There's really no room. It's compressed load, and they're shooting fine. So, and like I was thinking, is the future for sure. I'm not sure if it'll be legal for hunting though. Well, they haven't. There are manufacturers that make zinc bullets. We're not the first people to do it. There is a company out there doing it. So no one has stopped it so far. Zinc is a different environmental situation. It's really not harmful to anything. It doesn't deteriorate like lead does. So I don't know. Time will tell. But zinc is getting there now. There is what's his name? NOE. I forget his name. Al.
Taco.
Al from NOE. He's making a pot. I don't want to call it a pot. The insert. You will take apart your 420 pot. You will take the tank, whatever crucible out of it, and drop this in its place, and you'll be able to cast zinc.
Really?
Yep, it's in the works. It's not been put together yet. It hasn't been tested.
Yeah.
Totally. I just don't know, because the 420 pot holds 19 pounds of lead. You are not going to heat 19 pounds of zinc in that pot to the temperature you need. So
it's a matter of, can it heat it without extra coils? Yeah.
Right. Now you can. Who did it? What's his name? The mysterious guy that hasn't been around forever.
You mean Psycho Clown? He did that.
No, not
two coils. He put 2 coils on a 420.
Well, it wasn't Psycho Clown, but it was Elvis did it a while ago.
Elvis ammo, destroyed his pot. Yeah.
No, but he played around when he was able to put 2 coils in the pot.
Oh.
Okay, so there's room to put a second coil in there, and you just got to buy it.
Elvis did that?
Yeah, Elvis did
that.
Oh yeah, he did that, and he had a whole thing on it, where to drill the holes and all this crazy stuff. But you might have to add a second coil to it, and then you definitely will get there. Because I'm thinking about adding a second coil to the pot, the Seiko pot, but you can't buy the original one, so you got to make your own. But I'm looking for band clamps, and I just been too lazy to take my pot apart and really check out diameter measurements, because I think the band heater will work, but where it bolts together will be, the case won't fit. So you might have to cut a hole out in the case to have that stick out, and that's where the Y is attached to it. So
okay, I gotta say this. One time at Band Clamp, I'm sorry. All right. Tim S is here. I'm sorry about the one time at Band Clamp. All right. Tim S, hey, how's it going? I'm sorry. I had to go goofball for a minute. 1 millisecond. All right.
Got to give you the stage on that one. Got to give you the stage, Jim. Just goes to show the curtain hasn't fallen on you yet.
Well, I got scars on my neck for the hook. You know, the hook.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Oh, well. So, do most of you guys have the weekend off? Let's see. Mark Thomas just showed up. Tim S is here.
Going to work on Monday is optional for me.
Yeah,
get mad if I don't show up.
You're actually back to work with your shoulder?
I have been ever since the 1st of March.
Wow, I thought
look, man. No, dude, it's a trail of tears. I had a bad surgeon. He didn't want to do the paperwork that was going to keep me convalescent at home because he'd have to do charts and reports and things, and we'd have to go through the Department of Labor.
I thought you were cooped up at home because of your shoulders. You were actually at work.
No. As soon as I started putting work on him like that, he went, "You see this, Dave? See that right there? See, I got soap. I'm washing my hands of you." And he looked right at my boss, who was with me, and said, "There's no reason why you can't do a desk job." And of course, my boss is going to say, "Well, yeah, you're right." And I'm going, "What? What just happened here?" Yeah. So, yeah. And the next thing you know, I'm back at work making coffee, and they've got a sign, a little postcard sign on the door on my phone that says, "Dave, don't be a dick." In other words, I'm supposed to answer the phone, but they know that I don't put up with stuff. I don't.
And you're extra cranky when you're in pain, so it's like, what do you want?
Well, what's funny is that, you see, I got this interrupted sleep all night long, so I go to work and I'm burned out. And so, we attend one of the meetings. Well, I bring my ice pack with me and I put it on my shoulder. And as soon as that pain numbs up and everything, my mind goes, "I'm checking out while the getting's good." And I go, I'm right there in the meal and I'm out. They have to wake me up. Yeah. "Hey, you're the one who said I had to come back to work. So here we go. It ain't my fault, dude." Yeah. So it's messed up. Anyway, enough about me. I did do one thing today. I got up early enough before the sun came out and really started heating things up, and I went out and shot my M9, my Model 92, and I did try that 130 grain M&P mold, the one that has the 8 cavities. Man, that is an accurate bullet, man. I mean, at 25 yards with my left hand. I'm right-handed shooter, left hand, man. I held the black with it. Just one right after the other. I mean, people were like, "You got a shoulder injury and you're shooting with your left hand? You can shoot like that?" I said, "Man, this is an awesome bullet." I think what
is it? Is it a ball or a truncated cone? Because I have the
one. Let me show you. I just so happen to have it right over there.
Okay, because I have their 148 cavity mold, and I love that. It spits out so many bullets, just like a Lee 6 cap. I love that thing. So that's.
I'll tell you what. It casts 8 bullets at a time. Yeah. So you open that thing 100 times, you got 800 bullets. That's nice. But anyway, This is it. This is it right here. I'll show it to you right up to the camera there.
Here,
and that is a copy.
Okay.
That's like a copy. That's.
Yep.
Yeah.
Truncated.
Well, it's like a copy of the H&G the 200 grain that is so
45.
popular.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
45,
it's just
but
9 millimeter. And man, this is accurate, man. I'm just like, holy moly. I mean, I was shooting a ragged hole. A ragged hole.
like my favorite 45, but in 9. That's awesome.
Yes.
I have
Yeah,
the
and
140 grain. It works awesome too. It's same thing, flat tip, truncated cone type deal.
yeah, I've been shooting. Let me look. Yeah, 5.6 grains of HS6 underneath that, and that thing shoots awesome. Now, not for suppressors, but if you're going to shoot, and
Well, it's still going to be good. It will just sonic crack on you. Yeah.
and you could probably play with it too. It's 130 grain. You probably play with it too and drop the load down so where you can get subsonic with it.
Now, does it drop a little heavier than what it says? Because
it's right. Well, actually, it does. It's 132 grains.
Yeah, I'm at a 142 grain with the 140. So yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it shoots awesome, man. That's a great mold. I'm telling you right now, it's one of my favorites.
It's so
and not
easy.
just that. You can load these.
You
can load these in 38 special. You can load them in 38 special.
And
what
I love about their 8 cavity molds is light. Okay, and it's just like using a Lee 6 cavity, and it's light. It's not super heavy on your hands. You can load them all. You can cast them all day.
Right. I made 1,000 rounds in like 2,000, and I made 1,000 rounds in like 2 hours.
Yeah,
I was taking my time, and every one of them turned out perfect. I didn't have any rejects or anything like that. And that's one thing I do like about 9 millimeter. You got a lot more shooting pound per pound versus your 45 because you are shooting an awful lot more lead, and so it's kind of an economy thing to go with a 9 millimeter. You get a lot more ammunition for your investment. So
it's just the primers that cost you. Yeah.
That's it. I think I'm probably a half a cent or a penny a bullet right now on these. Yeah. Probably making a box for right around $5.50, something like that, including the primers. Something like that. I'm just guessing.
Well, if you pay the premium for primers, let's say 10 cents a pop. Okay, so you got a penny's worth of powder and you got a penny's worth of lead. So 12 cents.
Yeah.
So if you're like me, I got primers down at the 3 cent mark and below, plus some of the new ones, but the 3 cents. I'm shooting zinc most of the time at this point. Okay. And so you put a price on that, let's say a penny, and then the powder penny. So I'm in there at that the 5 cent mark. So
well, Andy, I bought primers when right before all this stuff happened. And in fact, I forewarned everybody. I said, "You want to get online? You want to get primers now because we're getting a new president here. Things are going to get crazy." And so I went ahead and stocked up on components, and I bought like 5,000 primers, a 5,000 primer sleeve for $112, and they that's the Winchester. And so I bought a whole bunch. I'm good to go, man.
I'm super stocked. I mean, I haven't bought any small pistol primer since this all started. I still got about 18,000 left.
Yeah, and that's the way to do it.
Back in the day,
you got to look forward in these situations and invest your money, because usually when we get a Democratic president, then the freaking ammo goes absolutely out of.
Yeah, it rotates. Yep,
it does. And it's a huge wave, and everybody's.
But down if you're not buying CCI, you're down between $60 or $65.
Yeah, I've noticed they're coming down to 65, and that's good. Once they get
people aren't buying
Yes. Yep.
I bought the Fiocchi.
I told you guys, man, you stop buying them, and then that price is going to come down. Same thing happened with the 223 thing. Same thing happened with the 22 thing.
Yeah.
Same thing happens all the time. When
Yeah.
you stop buying it, that price comes down.
I bought not too long ago, about 4 or 5 weeks ago. I bought what is Fiocchi, whatever it's pronounced, the 1,500 round boxes for $79.99.
Fiocchi. That's
Fiocchi.
the way it's pronounced. Fiocchi.
Yeah, it's Fiocchi.
I've been corrected many times.
Yeah.
It's not Fiocchi. It's not Fiocchi. It's not.
I know. Fiocchi.
Fiocchi.
I bought cases of their shotgun slugs and
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when it was cheap, and they give you a nice polymer case.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey.
One thing I wanted to bring up, one thing that happened after World War II is that there was just scads and scads of these, Mauser 8mm rifles, and they were everywhere. And I remember when I was a kid going into Value Giant with my dad, because my dad would buy his bullets or reloading stuff in there. And we'd walk in there, and they just have trash cans full of these things. And I still remember that they were only like $10 to $15 a piece, and you could pick through the whole trash can. And these were all Waffenmark, DWM or Mauser made, still had the death heads on them and everything. And, nobody wanted them. And we had a certain national pride about, buying American stuff. And, the .6 was the American caliber. And, a lot of ammunition that was made for the 8mm domestically here in the United States was purposely downloaded so it didn't compete with the .6. But I'm going to tell you what, you can get a 192 grain bullet out of a 8mm Mauser scooting along at like 2,800 feet per second, and now that's some horsepower at an 8mm. So the 8mm was purposely down to not interrupt U.S. sales and the popularity of the 30-06. Yep.
Okay, Booze and Bullets here. Good to see you. And you haven't done a video in a couple of weeks. All right. And then talking about surplus rifles, I just saw a place that got a bunch from Africa and Ethiopia. I would run. Those rifles are so... Do I have to tell you how Ethiopians take care of their rifles? Okay. They wall hangers. Okay. All right.
Pretty beat up.
Paying $400. What? You look down the board. It's a oh my God, sewer pipe. Anyway, hang on. All right.
Hey, one thing for Hobbies Hob over there, you know where I live, and one time we went up to Canada. My dad needed to get some saccharin. Saccharin wasn't available in the United States at that time, and he was a diabetic, and he liked to put it on his. He liked to put it on things, to sweeten it up a little bit without having sugar. So anyway, we'd go up there and buy this saccharin. It was called Sucralil. It's probably still available up there. But we used to go to places like London Drugs and these other places to buy this stuff. And I remember going into London Drugs one time. And this is when I was a kid. I think I was like 10 years old, and walked in there, and they had a sporting goods section. And my dad wanted to go over and look at it. So, look at what they had. And I remember looking up, and there were these number 7 and number 5 jungle carbines. I mean, a whole row of them. The whole, it's unbelievable. And I remember asking my dad, that looks pretty cool. It'd be kind of cool to have one of those. I remember Dad going, well, 303 grit. Wow, it's kind of hard to get down there. And wow, those rifles probably aren't really good rifles. But he was a little bit of a fud. But I'll tell you what, I remember seeing that. Man, I would have bought every one of them. Those things are priceless now. And they only wanted like $35 a piece for them. It was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, surplus has gone crazy on stuff now. But people don't have the luxury of when they were cheap. So
yeah, there you go. Yeah. What you been up to, Julio?
Yeah, pretty much staying busy. It's hard
He's
to be
been-
loading me out. It gets pretty warm.
You know, I'm gonna tell you what, dude. Let me wait a year and see how my shoulder works out. And if I can't shoot shotgun anymore, I'm gonna hook you up with a shot maker.
You can't shoot shotgun anymore?
My shoulder, the way it is right now, with the fracture
Yeah.
where it is, it sets in my in my socket and all
Oh,
that stuff.
okay.
I may not be able to shoot shotgun anymore. If I can't shoot shotgun
Yeah.
anymore, then I might as well just get rid of my shotgun stuff. So I'll hook you
Right.
up with stuff if you want it.
Okay,
I just
good.
got an offer. I mean,
Yeah.
okay, you can use it. Yeah, you bet.
All right,
You bet,
you
you
can let
bet,
me
you
know.
bet.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he's got a factory shot maker too.
Yeah. Yep. You can crank out some shot with that thing, man. I think I made like 500 pounds worth of shot. I was
Wow.
actually sending it off. I sent it off to other guys that had YouTube channels, and they would test it and stuff. And
Yeah.
guys that were shooting clays and shooting, skeet and everything, and they would evaluate it. And they come back and says, "No, this homemade stuff works just as good as any of the other stuff you buy.
I wonder if it'll do zinc.
As long as you choose your wads, there's no difference. You actually get an advantage in this because you're hand making your ammunition versus factory ammo. So
Yeah.
yeah. So it's all good, man.
Yeah, this time around I stocked up on a lot of wads, just in case, just to have them.
Oh yeah, they're cheap.
Yeah, I had like
Wads are
to
cheap.
use in the clearance section.
Well, yeah,
Look how cheap shotgun primers are.
the
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Really
Yeah.
cheap.
Well, you can get shotgun primers before others, but 209s and stuff. However, the good holes, are the things to collect.
Yes, that is
Yes,
true.
and I did that a long time ago. I will buy like $5 100, and I got
Yeah.
a whole mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, good holes.
What
One
makes it good
Spire,
hole?
Remington, Target, yeah.
What's a good hole? Because where I shoot, they're not doing a lot of shotgun, but sometimes I see a bucket full.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just make sure that the bottom it's all solid plastic. It's not made with cardboard.
Yes.
If it's with cardboard, I don't bother with it. If it's solid plastic, I keep them.
Hmm.
Yeah. Nowadays, it's the green Remingtons that are out there.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
they good? Or I'm just asking because
Yes.
I know I can take them. So
Yeah. The coveted was the AA holes.
Yeah. Remington AA.
And
The Winchester.
then they kind of dried up, but people are shooting the green holes now, which are good. They're durable, and the rest is all cheap crap.
So what if is the color of the hole? Tell me what brand it is.
Well, if they're green, you gotta, yeah,
Yeah, Remington got green and black.
yeah,
And like Julio say, stay away from cardboard. If you look down the side there and you see like wound cardboard,
yeah.
for the base,
Well, I'm not going to take cardboard off.
you want solid plastic, one-piece holes. They'll last the longest. And then, see, the problem is that cardboard's good for one. At least the way they made it was they could guarantee it for one shot. Now there are people that reload those and they shoot them over and over again. But what you're doing is you're taking a chance of that cardboard going down the barrel, getting stuck in the barrel, and then you putting another round right behind it.
Yeah.
And so you always have to check and make sure you're clear.
What color is
Just
Winchester?
to avoid it.
What color is Winchester?
Winchesters are red.
Winchester,
They're red,
gray.
or yellow for 20 gauge, red for 12.
Yeah,
Red.
and
Yeah.
usually double A's. If you can find double A's, those are good holes.
I just have keeping it back in my head when I go walk down the range, and
Yeah.
somebody was shooting shotgun when I was there, but the buckets are from yesterday, and I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, nowadays, if you see green, just gobble them up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Green or red?
I do have Remington straight walls, and those have a Preston wad at the bottom, but it's plastic. But I do measure that before I load it again, and I have it marked with a Sharpie, just in case if my Sharpie mark is higher, I toss it. I won't load it because I know the water's walking.
I'll keep
And
an
I do
eye
that
out.
before I put the primer.
I'll keep an eye out for you, Julio. If I see any, I'll grab them.
Speaking of going to the range, when I went to the range this morning, I ran into these couple of guys out there, and they're just they're just your average guys. It's they've got guns and they're just blazing away. It just so happened they were shooting 9mm. They blew off like 300 rounds, so I ended up getting once fired Remington brass. They just said, "Yeah, go ahead and take it." I said, "You sure you don't mind if I take it?" He says, "We don't reload. Just go ahead and take it." I said, "Okay." I just swept it all up, man. Took it home and I put it in my tumbler and got it tumbling, and now it's drying right now. I deprimed it and everything. It's gonna be like brand new brass. It's great.
Yeah. My range last time I went, the pistol section was finally open, and there's 3 guys shooting 357, and they tossing it in the garbage can. I says, "Guys," I says, "you don't want your brass?" He goes, "No." I said, "Give me it, please." And so I got like 300 rounds of 357 once fired brass.
Oh, you scored.
Yeah.
Yeah, you scored, dude. That's once fired brass. You scored, man. That's expensive.
I
People don't realize.
Yeah. I love the revolver guys that just jack it on the floor, and you got 44 mag, 357, all that. They just jack it on the floor. They could have kept it on the table.
45 longbow.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
like, what the hell? You know how expensive that is? I mean,
I don't
half
tell
of
them. I
what
don't
you paid
tell
for
them
is
what it's
laying on the
worth.
ground right now.
My range makes you sweep up your grass, so it's swept up and put into the 5-gallon buckets behind you. So I go through it, and it's like, okay, I'm grabbing what I need. Some things. I mean, I pretty much don't need any more 223, and I still picking up 30-06. But I see a bucket, and I pick up 30-40 rounds, and there's always something else mixed in it, 270s, whatever. So I'm slowly accumulating some other brass. When it's enough to ship to somebody else, send it out. But I'm not picking up a lot of brass right now. But the pistol range open again, 357, 38. Yeah, I'll take what I can get. And I'm watching. One guy was shooting 45, and one guy was shooting 44, and both of them said, "No, I keep my brass." Is okay.
All right. Booze and Bullets just said, I'm trying to catch up here. He just 3D printed a reloading press. I got to see that one. All right.
Yeah, I want to see him resizing zinc bullets.
No. Forget about that. I'm just curious right now because 3D printers rock. And, he's been doing everything, receivers and everything. But now you have a reloading press 3D. I want to see that. Oh, that's awesome.
Those 147 grain, 170 grain semi-wide cutters I sent you for the 357. I have to size them twice. They drop big. So if you find and you're having a problem sizing, buy another die if you can't get the size you want and sand it. So you can size it twice. It makes it real easy.
Yeah, don't force it. Always go 1 or 2 down, maybe even 3.
And lube it good.
Yeah, I just rubbed some unique lube in a baggie.
All I do is what is that? Aloe, lanolin, and alcohol.
Oh, that lanolin,
lanolin,
Just mix it. Keep a batch for sizing. Mix it heavy, less alcohol. It'll be thicker.
Yeah, if the bullets are 5 thou over, I'll lube them in a baggie and rub them around with Little Unique smeared.
Yeah, but that's lead. That's lead. You can't do that with zinc. You won't.
Yeah.
Go 5,000 down.
Yeah, no, I tried that and it jammed it right in there.
I'll tell you one thing. My favorite calibers, I have more than one sizer for each. So, like you said, you can bring them down or leave them depending on the gun. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like with 357, I have two sizing. I have a 359 and then I have a 358. I'm dropping 360. So it works easy. Instead of trying to kill yourself, it isn't worth it. And I just
if you force them, if you force them early, they'll cup at the bottom anyway. Yeah.
And Lee just had one of those what do they call those things where they make a batch for a group, and they had overruns or whatever, and I forgot what it was. The new short, bullet sizes, the new version. Okay, and it was like, oh great, I grabbed one of those because it was one size up, and it made a big difference.
Well, if you have the new Lee sizers for like the APP and stuff, they are so super easy to ream. So I do custom sizes for each, especially 44 mag, because rifle has a bigger bore than other, and it's super easy. So
I mean, it's nothing. It's nothing.
Yep.
But NOE will probably make you one.
I don't need to though. I roll ream them. I showed videos.
But
it's super easy.
Sell them for say like $10 a piece. It's not a big. They make the same short sizing guy as Lee does. They make the same thing.
I like Lee's metal better. I'm sorry.
I never bought one from NOE. I don't know.
Oh.
All I know is the steel molds. The block of steel is so big. It's super. They're super heavy.
You're talking molds. I'm talking sizers.
No, but I'm talking the size. The sizer. I never bought one of NOE's ones. But I'm just saying, their steel mold that I have for the 223. It's okay. I picked that sucker up, and I pick up a Lyman mold, same caliber, same bullet per se, and it's like light compared to NOE's molds. Are very heavy. He's got to use the block is way too big, which is a problem for. It's actually a slight problem with a small bullet with zinc, because now you got to get it hotter. Because the zinc just pulls, the big steel just takes the heat out.
You know what? The NOE sizes, those I have, and I got them in all sizes, especially the 44 caliber.
If you're liking them, they're not expensive. So see if he has one for, what diameter you need to step down from, whatever you're trying to get. It's hard for you to size, and just get one from him and try it. I mean, it's $10 and not a big deal, whatever it is.
I love the Lee sizes, the new design that's smaller. I have both, and I've reamed them both, just rolling on the table.
Yeah.
But they're new Lee little sizers for the APP. I love those things. They're great. Bulletproof. They're bulletproof. They're perfect. Oh my God.
Yeah, I just the one die that the 309 sizer I have for my 30 cal, I grabbed it the other day, and I stopped by my machine shop and pin checked it, and it's 309.01. That's how tight it is. And I've put an easy 8. What am I gonna say? It's the bullet they're buying. 18,000 through that sizer. And it hasn't. The zinc has not done anything to it.
18 thou?
Well, I sold 3 bundles to those guys, 5,000 a piece, and I've done at least 3,000 myself, maybe more. So I will, so I can. It's the Lee die sizing die. That's the new ones. It's holding up to zinc.
Andy, when do you find time to sleep? I mean, you work, right?
I work. I'm at work very early.
The rest of the evening.
I'm home at 3:30, and so from basically roughly 5 o'clock till 7 o'clock, I do what I want.
Andy is old school. Okay, it's not like new school. He's
hand casting thousands.
Old school.
Yeah.
Well, and I can cast in those 309s I cast probably in an hour about 250. And so in 3 hours, I've got, at least 600 rounds.
Not an
Wow.
Anheuser-Busch product. This is not an Anheuser-Busch product.
So,
Wait, is that a Coors bottle?
Yes, it is.
I have those. Wait.
They're good. No, they're good.
All right, Thorsax. If you look at the thumbnail I did for this live chat,
Mhm.
you'll see a flag and a tea bag, but then you see a bottle cap. And the bottle cap on the inside, what does yours say?
I'll have to turn the light on. I can't see.
What does yours say? The bottle cap in my thumbnail says, "Get your hands dirty." And the other one says, "Go to work."
Mine says only brewed with high country barley.
Oh, no. You're gonna have to open another one.
I'll probably get around to it.
In my thumbnail is a Coors bottle cap, and it says, and I'm ready to just screw around all day, and I open the cap and it says, "Get your hands dirty."
You know, one thing I will say about Coors once a year they put on the Schützenfest there in Colorado, and thousands of these guys go there to shoot this thing. And Coors sponsors it. The Coors family is totally into Schützen. I mean, they're into 2A, the whole bit. I mean, I cannot say that, they really put out for, the Schützen type shootings. And these are guys that have these rifles that are single shot, and they stand there at 200 yards and they shoot at a 25-point target, 25 being in the middle all the way out. And I'm going to tell you what, it gets, I mean, that X-ring is like as big around as your pinky nail. And I mean, they're shooting it at 200 yards offhand, no support, just, I mean, it's lead cast bullets too. Yeah. It's pretty serious stuff.
yeah, they should load zinc. Zinc shoots flatter because the velocity is higher.
Well, a lot of these guys are real traditionals when they come to
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just,
chambers. They got hand spun brass. I mean, they hand spin, make their brass. They have these little reloading tools that they use. They don't even resize the case. What they do is the case is made thick enough, and all the cases just to hold the powder. And what they do is they got a little depriming tool. You turn it upside down, it pops it out, and then you put the primer in. You just slip it in there, and you squeeze it in there, and then that's it. And yeah, they don't make, they set up a powder measure and they just dump it. Once it's set up and they've locked it in place, that's how many grains of like little gun or something like that they're going to be shooting. That's it. They just flip the handle and that's it. They don't worry about it. They seat their bullet into the rifling and they push that case up in there, and then they take the rifle and bring it back down, and boom, they let her go.
Okay, Thorsax, you ready? Everyone watching? This was the difference between Bud Light and Coors right now. Okay, so
Get your hands dirty.
okay, that was the first cap, and this is when I'm trying to screw off all day. I open a cap of beer and it says, "Go to work." Now watch this one. This is the second one I opened. A hard day's work deserves a beer. And there you go, Thorsax. It's hilarious. I'm so,
It's good beer. It is.
so funny.
It's very enjoyable to drink. I
It's
can have this just for the taste. I don't have to get up like falling on my butt drunk.
It's so funny you open that cap, because that's on the thumbnail for this video or this live, and the beer is telling me, "Go to work, quit screwing off."
I'm thinking I'm good at taste. This is made from only high country barley. Yep.
I'm going to get out of here. If I don't see you, have a great 4th of July.
Hey,
Yeah.
Andy, work
Right,
on that
Andy.
barrel nut. Yeah, get that barrel nut from Ruger and the washer and see if that fixes everything.
Yeah, I got to get them on the phone again. I don't know if they're going to be open Monday, so
No, they won't. Yeah.
I'll have to reach out to them again on next week and see if I get lucky. And I got to find out how to take it apart, how to get that off. I haven't even really looked. I'm sure there's just one of those spring clamps in there holding everything on. So
Okay.
can't be much more than that. There's no way. It's got to be something like that.
All right, Andy. Thanks for coming on and
All
give
right.
us an update on
All right,
that.
good night, Andy.
When I know more, I'll let you know.
All right. Sounds
All
good.
right, sounds good.
Good night, Andy.
Good night, Andy.
Oh. The funniest things show up on chats. Beer caps that tell you what to do. All right.
Jim, I'm going to tell you what. Down the street from my house, there's a little bar down there. It's a little tavern. It's called Four Corners. You would love it. I mean, you would love it. You just fall in love with that place. Wood stove in there. The bar is all worn from all the elbows and stuff on it. And you look up, and there's all these farm implements that he has put into the ceiling,
Yes.
like all this stuff that people are going, "What the hell was that used for?"
Yeah.
They're
Forge.
all old farm implements. Yeah, and Four Corners has been around forever. I mean, my family's been up here, ever since the inception of this place, and that family has been here, and they've always had that store. In fact, they've had that store before the road actually went out to Port Gamble. You used to have to go along the road that went to Port Gamble, that was down by the waterfront, and then the state came in highway out there, to link it up with Kingston, and they actually picked Four Corners up, turned it around, and set it back down, and put gas pumps out front that would go ahead and face the road so they would get business. Yeah, that store's been around ever since I could remember. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, we'd pull out of Big Valley. We'd drop the kids off on Big Valley, and we lived up the road a little ways, and we'd take that corner there at that intersection, and across the street, I remember as a kid looking at Four Corners, and there's all these farm tractors out there. So all the farmers would go down there after haying, or maybe they were, fertilizing their fields, or they were, spreading silage or whatever. And they would go down there and they have a beer afterwards. And sure enough, man, all them tractors were out there. It was kind of cool. Yeah. Yep.
Love that.
Yep. That's the way it used to be around here.
America.
Yeah. You got to go further inward to get that nowadays.
4th of July, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Let's bring it back.
Well, one thing about this county is it's became extremely overpopulated, and we've got all these transient military people living here that buy and sell homes, and they're in and they're out. And, some of these guys, have got kids that are rotten and that sort of thing, so they don't want to take them with them. They're 18 years old, so they just abandon them here, and next thing you know, they end up down on the streets of West Bremerton, and they're doing drugs and all this other stuff. And it just, I'm telling you, man, this place has really went downhill. I remember when West Bremerton, when I was a kid, you go through there and there were like, grandparents walking their grandkids out to the park, ball fields. It was really nice. I mean, West Bremerton was really nice.
Even the jog was safe.
Yeah. And you know what? You'd go downtown Bremerton, and when the whistle blew at the shipyard, all these guys would start coming out of the shipyard, still with their hard hats on, from the yard, and their wives would be picking them up, and a lot of guys would be, like going over to Bernie's to have a drink or something like that after work, or guys were going over to the FOE or the Eagles or whatever, and That's the way it was. If you look, the way that West Bremerton was, if you watch The Deer Hunter, if you ever watch The Deer Hunter when they're like in Western Pennsylvania and they got the steel mills, that's exactly the way that Bremerton was. All these guys would get off work, the new shift would be going on.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. And now it's a good place to go down there and get killed. Yeah.
Well, the problem is,
man, that's it. Yeah. Lock your doors on your car and just head out of town. Yep.
the problem with all the cities now is fentanyl's like $1 a pill, and all the tent cities and drug addicts take over every city, including Salt Lake up here. I'm sure there's some up there too, and you got to watch out for them cities. They're just a dump.
Yep.
Get out of the cities, people. They're a dump.
And we do not have a gun problem in the United States. We have a youth problem.
No problem.
We have unsupervised youth being raised in our homes now because both people have to work, and those kids have got nothing better to do than start smoking pot and hanging out with their buddies or whatever. And the next thing you know, they're out there robbing stores or whatever. It's just like those two guys, those two out there on I-5, and they jackknifed that truck. They were screwing with that truck, and they were pulling in front of them, tapping on their breakers, and they were screwing with the guy. He jackknifed his truck. He's dead. They killed him. And you know what? They don't care. They don't care. They don't have any remorse at all. They killed somebody. That's messed up. That's diseased thinking.
For now, just get away from the cities, people. You get rural, you're okay. Get away from the cities. That's where it's all at. Not to get too, whatever, but it's true. Fentanyl is $1 a pill right now. And what do you think all these tent cities are all about? That. And open borders, okay? That's where they get it from.
Martin made a comment, and he said that, in Pennsylvania, he heard that's just exactly what it was when the steel mills were running. I got news for you. That was America. Where has America went? Where? All those steel mills are over there in China now. In freaking China.
Yeah, the problem with
they sold us out. It's all about the money. They could care less about society. It's terrible. It's just terrible.
my best friend Joe died. He was from Pennsylvania, and he would be rolling in his grave right now. Who's running the joint? And man, it's bad stuff. Who's that bald bastard that's brain dead, that's running the whole thing now? Oh my God. Yeah. My poor buddy Joe, he would have been rolling in his grave.
Yeah, we've lost something that gave us the edge, and that has slowly been dulled over. We used to have that sharp edge, and now it's been dulled over, and we can't even cut butter with it now. You know what I mean? It's terrible. Anyway, that's just depressing. That's depressing. And you're right. You take a look at the guy that's running the joint, and you can walk up to the guy and go, "I don't know what you're talking about, Uncle Joe. Do you?"
He wears a hoodie and he has mental issues, and they elect him. Are you crazy? I shouldn't talk. I shouldn't talk. We got freaking what's his name? I don't even want to say his name.
So we got the same thing up here. So, yeah. It's I don't know. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I miss old Joe, I tell you that. I still got some 44 mag bullets he sent me, and I should shoot those. I got a little note from him on my reloading wall. And he, when they buried him, he got buried with 2 firearms. and he put a second amendment. They put a what did it say? It was something about the Second Amendment on his gravestone. I have a picture. It's not on this one. It's on my other iPad. So
You know what does my heart good? If I blow a gasket and I fall over dead, Scotsman is going to have a fund drive to put me in the ground. That's awesome. I'm like, wow, really? Scotsman. Man, what a great guy. You know what? Scotsman is actually what America should be about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got the right, he knows how to cultivate, turn the ground and get the stuff growing again. You know what I mean?
Well, like most people that immigrate to America, they realize, hey, what's going on here? It's wrong right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at Val. Look Bald and Curious. Look at Val. Came from a communist country, and he's on fire about what the hell's going on around, the United States right now. He's fit to be tied.
Oh,
yeah.
There's tons. They know what it's like. So,
I read in the paper one of the things that it gets under my skin, but you can't really do anything about it because they're survivalists, is what they are. And some lady over in Seattle, she got busted. She was under investigation for Social Security fraud, right? And when they finally busted her, she was living in a house that was 4,000 square feet. She had a Mercedes Benz. She had new cars, the whole bit. And she was cashing checks for 6 family members. And that fraudulently were collecting money from Social Security. It's all into her account. That, to me, they need to round up a lot more of those people. They really do. Because they're bleeding us dry. They make it so easy for immigrants to get on that stuff. And the next thing you know, they just take advantage of it, and then they put it in their own language and tell all the rest of them how to do it. And the next thing you know, we've got this huge expenditure that we're just throwing this money away. And it's terrible. It really is. It's fraud.
Well, what about paying for college dues? Okay, Biden is pissed right now. The Supreme Court overturned that. He's pissed. That should come out of all of our wallets. Having someone go through college for free.
Jim, I'm going to tell you something. The people that took up basket weaving 101 and they just borrowed all this money so they can make house payments and buy a new car and just ride the wave. I mean, they figured it out. That was fraudulent. Okay, they borrowed that money without any intention at all to ever pay it back, and they're not going to pay it back. That's just what it is. But there are people that did use their education to become productive, and
they paid it back.
Well, here's another thing too. Now, I might sound a little bit on the liberal side here.
Ah, geez.
I'm going to tell you what. I make an exception. If you go into a professional field and you're making money and you're struggling with your student loan, but you're in a professional field and you were serious about it and you have been paying your loan. Okay, you've been making that effort, but it is crunching down on what you consider your life. For getting that education. I think that the government should assist. People like that, and they had programs involved to go ahead and do that sort of thing earlier, even before they came out with this big student loan thing. But I feel sorry for the young people that are in their 30s, went through all this college to become professionals. I mean, I'm talking about physical therapists, become nurses, become somebody who's productive. Those people should get some help. But if you took AutoCAD 101 or all these bull crap, deals, classes and stuff like that. Just you can just say that I'm going to college now. I need to pay for my car because my car gets back and forth to work. I got to pay for food. I got to need lodging. I need all the stuff, and include that all in your loan. Basically, you're just living off that loan, and you have no intention at all to pay it back. You just want to go and screw off for a while. Well, those are the people that need to pay it back. Those are the people who need held to, you didn't do anything with your education. You purposely did that.
If you got a loan, you got to pay it back. And nowadays, colleges are an incubating ground for communism. So,
well, yeah, and look at who's coming out on top on this. It's the colleges. They're paying the loan back to the colleges.
Yep.
Colleges made all their money. They made billions of dollars off that. Sure, they're going to come out. Well, education is the key. Really? It is? I thought putting people back to work, having steel mills back here in the United States, having manufacturing back here in the United States, teaching kids, teaching young men how to be men and go out there and work for a living and frame houses and work cement and get a real job, a real man's job.
Wait a minute. You can't.
Unless you want to go to college and become a doctor or a lawyer or whatever in that profession, you get out there and and there are jobs available for you.
You can't say men anymore. It's he, him, and stuff like that.
It's been done now.
Him, he, her, whatever. We got two guys in the military right now that are all right, in charge. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Eagle shooting is here.
You talk about respecting the uniform and not the person that occupies it. That would be a very good challenge for me. To have somebody coming in there with oak leaves or whatever, and they got their hair done up, and they got eye makeup on, and they got, and hey, you're not a female. You're trying to look like one. I don't know what's going on with you, dude.
Picture General Pat.
You sort that out, dude. Believe me, you'll feel better afterwards.
Picture General Patton looking at these two cross-dressers that are in charge of the military right now.
God,
that would not go well. That would not go well.
He would lose his mind. He would actually. I actually think that if he's seen that in a congregation where they were having a meeting or something and had those guys walk in, he would take his 45 out. He'd shoot both of them. He would shoot both of them dead. He would say, "This is my duty to keep the pollution of that out of the blood of the United States." That's exactly what he would say. Go ahead and arrest me. I did what I had to do.
Oh, well.
He would. Yeah. He would lose his mind.
It's a crazy world out there right now, but hopefully we get it back. So.
Yeah, well.
Did you see Musk posted a video, Elon Musk, on YouTube with Tucker Carlson going off on America? Did anyone see that video? It's going to be deleted. And they cut out every word that YouTube doesn't like. But if you haven't seen Musk doing a Carlson video, recent video that Tucker Carlson did, it explains everything. Everything. So there's that.
If you don't mind me, okay, I'm not pressing anything or pushing anything on anybody. I'm just talking about the story, okay? I'm not talking about whether it's factual or not or anything like that. But when the tribe of Israel wanted to become a kingdom, okay, they went to Samuel and they asked Samuel, and Samuel said, they're going to take 10% of everything that you have, your children, your livestock, your food, your land, and everything. If you become a kingdom, they will tax you on that. If you elect a king, And that's just the way it is. It's something you don't want. That's exactly what he says. Let's just stay a tribe. I'll be your leader. Let's just stay a tribe. Who do you want for a leader? And they said Saul. Saul is a brashing, confident man. We want to go ahead and have him as a king. And they voted on it. And guess what? They got Saul. Now, let me tell you something about Saul. Now, Samuel was the right-hand man to Saul. Okay? He was the right-hand man to Saul. He was like the vice president. And what Saul kept doing is that he kept doing what he thought that God wanted him to do. Okay? And every time he did that, the whole thing just blew up in his face. Okay? And Samuel was always up his butt about it, saying, look, and finally Samuel said it. He said, you are doing what you think God wants you to do and not doing what God wants you to do. And when you think about our leadership in this country, now I'm not talking about God or anything like that. These people are doing what they think the United States wants, not what the United States wants. Does that make sense to you? That's exactly what's going on. Our leadership is doing what they think the United States want, not actually what the bulk of the United States wants.
Right.
Just like then. That's a truism. And it might be a story out of the Bible, and it might have sounded like I was getting all churchy and everything like that. And I'm not. I'm not trying to press God on anybody or whether or not it's true or anything. It's the similarity of that story of what I see in our leadership in the United States right now. They're doing what they think the United States wants, doing what we actually want them to do. They're not listening to us. Period.
Yeah. No, they do what they want to do.
And it's failing. It is failing. They are failing as leaders because of it. Just take a look at our recent administration.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough about that. That gets me kind of torqued up. It's a little deep on Thor's act.
One more year, people. Ugh.
It's become a circus show.
If we get a free election, one more year. All right.
Yeah. I hope that one more year was a couple months away.
People are pissed. All right. This has gone crazy. It's gone nutso. And we got to get our country back. So,
yeah. And you know what? Let freedom ring. If you're going to go out there and you're going to shoot a video about shooting some steel and let freedom ring. Because, man, I'm going to tell you what, firearms are the only thing that stand between us and our privacy. That's the reason why we have firearms, is for our privacy, whether what religion you have or way that you conduct yourself or what you seem to think is the way that you want to live your life. That's nobody else's business. And that firearm is there to protect that in our freedom. Remember that. Our forefathers knew that. They came here because they were persecuted. And they had firearms. And they figured it out.
It's the difference between us and the other countries that are going through the same BS right now.
Right.
So, anyway. So I'm trying to keep up on the side chat here. Yeah. So
let me go to bed. It's already 10 o'clock here. Gotta get up tomorrow early.
Yeah, we did 2 hours. I'm already over on my StreamYard an allotment for the month, so we'll start next month. So yeah. Everyone out there, fight for your rights. So Julio, sign off.
Huh?
Sign off. We're gonna sign off right now. So
Okay.
last words, Julio. I'm glad you came on.
So thank you for the invite, and everyone have a happy 4th, and stay safe and have fun.
Yes. And I'm glad you're done with remodeling so you can relax for a while.
Yes, I can relax. I haven't got a chance to go to the range. It's been raining on and off, but eventually I'll get to do it.
All right, Julio, love you. Thanks for coming on.
I love you too. Thanks for the invite. Good night, Dave. Nice to see you.
Yeah, good night.
All right, and enjoy your holiday. Good night.
All right. You too, Julio. Love you, bud.
All right, I love you too.
Well,
Thanks.
Jim, thanks for having me on. My opinions kind of ran over the side there, and
Well, we have our opinions and we all kind of agree anyway. So
I think Kenny went and took it personally, but yeah. Oh well.
no, it's all right.
Okay, we're good. I apologize. Those are just my opinions. I ran my mouth.
All right, everyone. I love you guys out there and have a good 4th weekend. And you know what the 4th is about more than ever than now. Okay.
Yes.
It's full circle. So
That's right. Let freedom ring. Get out there. The YouTube guys out there, make a video. Do some good. Yeah.
I tell you what, if the election goes, let's see, if the election machines go bad again, we might have another 4th of July. Let's just leave it at that. All right. Good night, everyone. I love you guys. And good night, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks, Jim, for having me on.
And we'll see you later, Thors. And everyone, love you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Until next time, and we're out.